Now let's talk about the Women Africa Cup of Nations. I'm not exactly excited, I must say, because we know how much there's a lot of buzz around the AFCON, but WAFCON is on, and you have to remind some people that, there's a match today. Well, we have our correspondent, Cecilia, who is ensuring that we pay attention to WAFCON and all of the wonderful games going on. Cecilia, good morning from Morocco.
Good morning from Casablanca, Morocco,
Let me ask you.
Jeffrey's also there.
Yeah, he's also here. Let me start by asking you, Cecilia, how does it feel sometimes when you see the attention given to AFCON and then you see the attention given to WAFCON? It's like, I don't know how it feels for you as a journalist and a woman as well.
Yeah, I think how do I feel? Yes, the game is going, but I feel there is still a lot to be done. For instance, sometimes you don't even know, is it going to take place? There's always this to be or not to be. We know before now, every year you have, every time, WAFCON is a competition that has been hosted by CAF every 2 years. And November, December, you definitely have it. But since it came to North Africa, Morocco, the first time they hosted in 2022, it was in the summer, during the summer, that's June, July. And then we're supposed to have had it last year. It didn't happen because it was Olympics, there was every other competition, and so they moved it to this year. But if CAF is really serious about women's football, I believe we'll have a timetable. We will know that the next country that is going to host, you already know it 2 years before. And also maybe a month, not even a month, like 6 months to the time, you already know the venue. And then you start selling tickets on time. Tickets for the Men's World Cup, even when some teams are not qualified, will start selling, I think, from September. But when it comes to the women's game, there's always this delay tactics, like you don't know what you want to do. And so when you have that, it's hard for people to actually follow. Some players I spoke to then were saying, they said they expected it to happen last year, they qualified last year. And then everyone was in limbo. Like it was in June. Yes, in June, it was announced that it will be done this year. How do you wait till that time to tell people who are competing at the tournament? So sometimes people want to travel to go watch tournaments, who want to put in their money in terms of investment, and everything you can do, sponsorship deal. They need to plan. And so you need to give them something to plan with. So when you don't have that, it's hard. I mean, most journalists didn't come to the tournament here, like after the group games, the final group games of the tournament, because there was this issue according to most of them, Moroccan embassy, that they had too many requests or something, and then the server was down, server was slow. I didn't get my visa until midnight before the day I was going to travel. These issues are happening because no one planned that it was going to happen like this. Tickets went on sales like let's say 2 weeks to the commencement of the tournament. So when you're having all this situation, and then you get to Morocco, you get to their immigration, they don't even know that they're hosting a tournament. They don't know, they're not aware. So you start telling them this is what you're here for, and they start asking different questions, the ID card and everything. And when you show it to them and they see your place, he's holding Morocco, women they playing. I mean, they don't even know. So that's how do I put it? That awareness is not being created. You don't have activation around it. And you see Euros, you see them unveiling jerseys, preparing for the kids, there's just this buzz around it. But when it comes to women's football in Africa, I don't know, it's like it takes the backstage, and
so
it's like they're doing you a favor for them to even host it. Yeah.
So is this like a cultural problem here? What are we dealing with here? Is it a perception problem, a cultural problem?
No,
what exactly is happening here in your interpretation?
I don't really think it's a cultural problem. No, I don't think so, because in Morocco, like the very first game I watched, Morocco and Zambia, I mean, we had let me not even talk about this one. In 2022, for instance, we have like more than close to 45,000, more than close to 60,000 people actually watch the final between Morocco and South Africa. So this is not the cultural problem. This is you creating the awareness. If the 2022 we didn't have that much crowd, we can't complain. But we have that. But what happened? The game between Zambia and Morocco, the opening game, I thought at the time I get into the stadium that I'm not going to get a space, because that was the day I arrived. I had to travel from Casablanca to Rabat, to watch the game. I thought we are not going to have that. I mean, the balls from the fans, you could see the few ones that knew that there was something going on. You could see the balls, the kids. They brought, I mean, you see parents bringing their children. The game was 9 p.m. at night. They came with their kids to the stadium as late as that. Because they're preparing for the World Cup in 2030, so most of the bigger stadiums that they used the last time are being renovated. So they're preparing for that. So the women's football is just like an aside for them. Well, let's just quickly take this out of the way since we're supposed to have hosted it last year. And then in August, right? August or September, they should be hosting the under 17 women's World Cup. That's also there. And then you have the men's the championship, Africa Men's Nations Cup in December, January. That's also there. And then 2030, there's the World Cup. So it's like the women's game coming in between. Just like, let's take this out of the way and focus on the other ones that we will be focusing. I think that's where the situation is here. Maybe it's too much of them, but no matter how it is, I feel that you should have a timetable for women's game. Yes, we are happy that next year is qualifying. The tournament for next year is for qualifying for the World Cup. So They don't have a choice. You can't move that. If you move it, simply means you're going to pick the winners from this year, the final four from this year, to go to the World Cup. I don't think that's going to happen. But next year, we already know that it's happening, and it's going to be June, July. So since we know that, I think maybe we'll see better organization, better awareness, better activation, and of course, better publicity for the women's game next year.
Cecilia, just before we get your prediction for tonight's match and what you expect, you had a conversation with our stars, Cecilia Shola and Aisha Falade. So let's also take a listen to what they had to say, and then we'll come back for your prediction ahead of today's match.
For the fans coming to the stadium, like with every tournament, it takes a while for the tournament to warm up to the people. When it starts getting to the knockout stages, to the very stiff competitions, that's when you see people really coming out to see. So we hope that by the time that the competition progresses, the tournament progresses, and the host team is doing well, we are going to see fans turn out. We know that women's football, it takes a while for you to pull the crowd. All the big names are here. They want to see, and thank God we've seen some pretty good goals, as early as the tournament is. The goals have come in early. They've been beautiful. They've been fantastic. You've seen the quality of play. That in itself will draw the crowd to the stadium in no time.
To be honest, it's not the best feeling, but again, we have to respect the host country, and we just gotta say, like, a lot of things has to be better, and that's one of it. Like maybe like the publicity of the tournament or something. This is not the one that leads to the World Cup. So maybe that's why the turnout is like that. I don't know, to be honest. I can't really tell, but I just think they can be better. Support can be better, and honestly, whatever the media can do to support the team, the girls, it will be amazing to have a field stadium.
Don't worry, Asisat. We're here to support and ensure that there's a lot of buzz. So, Cecilia, tonight's match, it's a very important match, quarterfinals. What do you predict? I know you spoke with the Zambian captain. We'll get to listen, but what do you look forward to?
Oh, wow. For the first time since I started covering women's football, I don't have that 100% confidence that we can actually win this. But I think maybe a 2-1. Yes, we'll take it because once we remain in the game, yeah, I think a 2-1 would do. This is actually the first one I'm predicting. Sportsnet, they asked me last night. I just couldn't do the prediction. But I think, yes, mentally, physically, the players they're ready. I think we can take this one against Zambia because the confidence oozing from the Zambian teams is like, we're going to take out Nigeria. After all, we beat them the last time, 2022, without our star players like Barbara Branda and Rachel and the likes. But now we have them. We will beat them. But I don't think that's going to happen, really. I think the girls are really, because you understand what's at stake. The Mission X journey is still on, and the journey will end when they bring the trophy home to Nigeria. And I think that we can actually take it to one. It's fine.
We need that one as quickly as possible because this is not like points. You win, you progress. You lose,
you snooze,
you come back
you're
home.
Go
So before we let you go, Cecilia, so we have other matches today, Morocco, Mali. What's your prediction? And of course, we have tomorrow Algeria, Ghana, South Africa, Senegal. What do you see in all of these fixtures?
Sorry, take that again. I didn't get that.
I was saying there's also Morocco, Mali, Senegal, South Africa, Algeria, Ghana. Those are tomorrow, but the Morocco-Mali match is today. What do you see in those fixtures as well?
Yeah, I think I think the other ones you can easily just say this is what's going to happen. Senegal, South Africa, you want to pick South Africa. I think South Africa will get that one better. I think Morocco also will progress into the semi-final, really. Then you have the Algeria game. That's going to be a tough one to call. But I think I feel South Africa and Morocco, from what we've watched, from what we've seen, we know that they already have the tickets in the semi-final. And if we beat Zambia, I was waiting in the wings for us in semi-final in South Africa.
Okay. Cecilia, it's a very important match. Thankfully, you're there to ensure that we get all of the coverage. So we wish you and the girls the very best on behalf of Nigerians. We're speaking with our correspondent, Cecilia Omorogbe, sports anchor, who is live for us covering WAFCON in Morocco. Thank you, Cecilia.
Thank you.